Do you have your answer for me?
We want to ask something first. You're asking us to fight an entire planet. How exactly do you expect us to do that? You must have something up your sleeve, or else you wouldn't put us up to it.
The great astral spirit is an immense being, but its actual will does not run throughout its entire body. Rather, its will is derived from the core, which supports the rest of the body, and is where its strength is most densely concentrated. Therefore, if you destroy the core, the Great Spirit shall become unable to maintain sentience, and return to being ordinary astral energy.
And how are we supposed to destroy that core?
By using the Rena's Alma. You will also need the assistance of both the Sovereign and the Maiden. They are our best tools for suppressing and controlling astral energy. Using their powers, the Maiden shall seal the great astral spirit within her body, and the Sovereign shall wield the power of the Rena's Alma to destroy it.
Hold on. That sounds a lot like what Shion described before.
Yeah, killing herself to take out the thorns with her.
She was actually right all along.
By my calculations, your powers combined should be sufficient to destroy the great astral spirit, and disperse its energy widely enough to make it difficult to reform.
What will happen to the Maiden once we manage to beat the great astral spirit?
Any matter contained within the field of destruction shall be erased.
So it really will kill me.
This method is the most simple one available to destroy the Great Spirit, and is therefore our most reliable option.
What are our other options?
There is little reason to consider alternative courses of action when the most optimal among them is so clear.
You don't get it. I promised Shion that she wouldn't die, that we'd save the world without needing to sacrifice her. We didn't fight this whole time just to give up on her at the very end. If there's any other way to take out the Great Spirit, I want to hear it.
This plan shall lead to the fewest losses in preserving your world. Abandoning it is irrational. It is vital that you proceed with this plan. A part of Rena's great astral spirit already resides within her. 300 years ago, the Great Spirit descended upon Lenegis in an attempt to assume direct control of the spirit channeling ceremony. We have reason to believe the Great Spirit left part of itself behind, and that it now resides in the Maiden.
Which would make Alphen's earlier hypothesis correct.
That part inside the Maiden belongs to the core, and can be used by the great astral spirit to revive itself. So long as it remains, it will be all but impossible to fully eradicate the Great Spirit. That is why it is necessary for it to be vanquished only once it is whole. Without the Maiden's direct control over the Great Spirit, attacking it is futile, and will only serve to strengthen it.
No.
Wait. Naori said that the Rena's Alma can suppress the self-realization of astral energy, and that the thorns can be neutralized by placing them in it. If so, can't the same also be done to the Great Spirit, seeing as the thorns are simply part of it?
Well, can it?
It is true that the Rena's Alma is capable of what you suggest, and could contain the great astral spirit.
Yes!
However, doing so requires fine control on the level of the spirit channeling ceremony, considering that the Rena's Alma was previously lost when that ceremony failed. I cannot allow it. Its uncertainty is simply too great.
What does that mean for us if you won't allow it?
Your starship will not be restored, and you will all be unable to leave here.
Why you?
Fine then. I'd rather stay here and rot than do it your way.
Alphen?
Whatever we do, if we mess up, Dahna's screwed. The Great Spirit will destroy it. If you're fine letting that happen, and we have nothing to gain either way, then I'd rather do nothing. We want to stop Dahna from getting destroyed. We want to save it. But not if it means having to sacrifice one of us in the process. If all you're gonna do is sit back and watch us where it's safe, Then quit ordering us around and shut up!
Alphen.
What you say is irrational. Be that as it may, I shall accede to your demand.
You'll agree?
I am an observer. The Sovereign, Maiden, and Rena's Alma are my species' greatest achievement. I wish to see how well they work against the Great Spirit in light of our demise by its hands.
But what are we supposed to do about the Renis Alma? One of your buddies ran off with it back on Lenegus.
It is likely that the Renis Alma is with the Great Spirit, functioning as a catalyst for it to receive Dahna's astral energy.
So our only option to retrieve it is to head straight for the Great Spirit and take it back?
According to my observations, the astral energy is most densely concentrated in the center of Rena, where the Great Spirit's core is located.
So right in the middle of that giant flower, then.
I have one more question. You've said that Rena's great astral spirit is already integrated with the planet. What will happen to Rena once it vanishes?
Without the will of the Great Spirit, Rena is predicted to collapse. Even in such a scenario, the energy will disperse, and the Great Spirit will likely not reform.
So you're saying that even if we manage to beat the Great Spirit without destroying it, we'll still be in danger?
Likely, the collapse will occur in stages. It is recommended that you all escape before the final stage.
Man, I wish that thing would tell it to us straight for once.
Hevrek 35 and the others have gotten used to hypothesizing from afar, is all. Fix our starship. We're going to Rena.
Excellent.
But I want to make one thing clear. We're doing this for ourselves, to protect what matters to us. We're not doing it for your sake, or because you told us to. Remember that.
It matters little to me. The end result shall be the same. Repair work on your starship has commenced. You'll have to wait until it's finished.
Man, is it too much to ask for Hevrek 35 to talk like a normal person? I swear I can feel my brain starting to fry after listening to all that complicated stuff.
Don't worry. I think we're mostly done with him. Now all we have to do is rest up and wait. Once the Fall Knights is good to go again, we'll be taking off for Rena right away. Is the Renis Alma really our only hope against the Great Spirit? There has to be another way, right?
Shion's Fire Master Core was able to suppress astral energy to prevent it from gaining sentience, right? Couldn't we make use of that somehow?
I'm not sure. In small doses, maybe. And with the amount of energy we're talking about here.
Back in Calaglia, the Blazing Sword was able to take in a whole spirit vessel's worth of energy. If it has the capacity to manage that, it can do this, right?
Except after it absorbed the energy, it ended up releasing it all moments later, remember? Let's not forget, it nearly killed you. Besides, this is the Great Spirit we're talking about, not a paltry vessel. Even if I could use the Master Core, your body wouldn't be able to take the strain of channeling that much energy.
Hevrek 35 didn't mention it, and it did not seem the type to skimp on details, so assuming it's even possible, the chances are slim to none.
You're probably right.
You still thinking about what the scientists told us? About where Renans really come from?
I am. but not for myself.
You're worried about the future of the Renan people.
The fact that our people have been the same this whole time will only give the Dahnans further reason to resent us.
But you still intend to confront this truth head-on, don't you?
Well, I did declare that I would live my life for the living, and not the dead. Even as I dream of retirement, I shall remain dedicated to the cause.
I'm sure you'll do great.
Now that I think about it, I don't believe I've ever heard you criticize or reproach us Renans even once.
I'm no saint. I have skeletons in my closet too. There was definitely a time when I hated Renans for who they were. I hated them just for being Renan. But you changed that, Dohalim. You gave me an opportunity to see them in a different light. Thanks to your reforms, we were able to stand next to Renans not as slaves, but as equals for the first time in our lives. Of course, I'm sure there were some Renans who still hated us on the inside. But we knew that not all of you were like that. There were those of you who were good, and that was a start. When it comes down to it, Renans are just people. They can be good or bad, just like Dahnans.
That is, in essence, the heart of your approach, isn't it? That we're all people.
Yeah, it is. When you can pull someone aside and talk to them one-on-one, then you have the chance to come to an understanding. But as soon as you stereotype, that chance goes away, and you stop thinking of them as people that you can relate to.
I understand what you're saying, but we're talking about massive numbers of Renans and Dahnans alike. Realistically speaking, surely they won't all be able to get along.
Even if we end up butting heads with one person, maybe we'll find better luck among their friends. If we can build a society that works like that, that'll be something worth nurturing and protecting.
So you wish for people to form real bonds and do away with the hierarchy outright? To deal with one another as humans, and nothing more? That's the ideal future you hope to see when this is all over?
Yes, I do. I think it would make for a fine tribute to my brother's legacy. Though, that said, I would be doing it for the people of the future first and foremost. Do you still plan to return to Lenegis when this is over?
Indeed I do. I don't know whether I'll be able to reside in Lenegis proper, however. My first order of business may be to find somewhere to live.
You'll always have a home in Menancia, you know.
As I shall ever keep in mind.
Well, if you ever need a helping hand, don't hesitate to come get me. I'll always be there for you, Doe.
Did you just... Never mind. Thank you, Kisara. I appreciate your patience as I work all this out.
Don't even mention it. And really, when you think about it, now that we know the two of us aren't so different after all, don't you think that brings down a barrier that used to be between us?
You know, I hadn't actually thought of it that way before. But I do like the sound of it.
Yeah, I think I do too.
Hey, why'd you call me here? Was there something you wanted to talk about?
Well, if everything we've heard about the Great Spirit is true, then we're getting close to our final battle. So I wanted to apologize while I can.
Apologize? For what?
I was being real stupid before, about whether Dana's will had been controlling us and all that. I get why you're angry now. Anybody would be if something they trusted was being questioned. So, I'm sorry, Rinwell. Really. I should have kept my mouth shut.
No, Law. Honestly, I think you might have been onto something. Of course you were worried. Who wouldn't be if they found out there might be some invisible force pulling our strings this whole time?
But you really trust Dana's will, don't you? Is it because you can sense it a lot more than the rest of us? Because you can understand it?
Yeah, I think that might be part of it. But I think I also want to believe it's good.
Believe?
Remember how I used to really resent coming from a family of mages?
Yeah, of course. Because you were always on the run and had to live in hiding.
When we rescued Zephyr and I finally decided to come along with you all, something changed inside me. It was the first time I felt like my powers had any meaning, even if that meaning was only helping you guys fight. Then, when I felt Dana's will, I was overwhelmed by how vast and warm it was. It made me want to believe my powers were made to connect with it. It made me believe I had a bigger purpose.
So that's why you hope it doesn't turn out to be bad. You almost need it to be kind.
Yeah.
Well, alright. Then I promise I'll lay off bad-mouthing it.
You will?
There's no way for me to know for sure one way or the other, right? But you trust it, Rinwell, and that's enough for me. So I'll trust it because you do.
Remember what I said about neither planet's great spirit reaching us here?
Yeah?
That's not quite true. I can feel just a little bit of Rena's inside you and everyone else.
You... what?
I sensed it when we first got here. It's a really small amount, so it doesn't feel like it has a will of its own. But I think that's how Dana's energy probably is too.
So you're saying there's a little bit of Dana's will inside each of us? In a way, doesn't that mean we're all Dana's will?
What?
Well, like you said, unless Dana's energy comes together, it has no will. So if we all have a little bit of Dana's astral energy inside us...
Yeah, maybe...
Everett 35 might know the answer. But, you know what? I don't need to ask it. My will is my own. I fight for who I want to fight for. That's who I am now. Who I've become. So thanks, Rinwell, for sharing that with me.
Ah.
To be honest, the only reason I was suspicious of Dana's will, well, I mean, it mostly was... I feel like you and I had grown apart lately, and I was worried it was because...
Huh?
Never mind. Nothing. Just forget about it.
Huh? No, what were you saying?
Saying? I don't remember
Come
saying
on.
anything.
Now you won't tell me what you were
No,
thinking?
that's not what I'm saying.
Then spit it out already.
Are you sure you don't want to get some rest?
I can't. I've got too much on my mind. Especially knowing how close our last battle is. How are you doing, Xion?
Same as you, still trying to absorb everything.
Remember when it was so simple? We were only fighting all the lords on Dana? All of that feels like a lifetime ago, doesn't it?
Ages and ages ago. Everything that's happened since we first met. So many fights, so much chaos, so many wonderful people.
If I hadn't run into you that day, well, I wouldn't have met all of you. I never would have held the blazing sword or looked for something more. I wouldn't have my memories back. I'd still be a faceless slave, like as not long dead.
Hey, Alphen. I want you to promise me something.
Yeah?
If we can't find the Renis Alma, there's something I want you to do. Like Hevrect 35 said, the only way we can end the Great Spirit for good is to go after both the main body in Rena and the thorns in me. I need you to promise me, Alphen, that if for some reason we can't get the Renis Alma back, you'll use the Blazing Sword to destroy the Great Spirit, and me along with it.
Huh?
It's true the Blazing Sword may not have the strength of the Renis Alma. But it's taken us this far. It's slain lords and beasts. At the very least, it has to be worth a try.
You can't be serious. Have you forgotten everything
Listen,
that we've...
the Great Spirit isn't just our problem. It's a threat to our entire world. Renans and Dahnans alike. We don't know what's going to happen when we face it, but we need to be prepared for anything. We can't second-guess ourselves when the time comes. I promise you, I'm not planning on going anywhere. I'm prepared to fight with absolutely everything I've got. But if it comes down to it, I need you to be prepared too.
Okay. But you should know that I'm not going to give up on you, Shion. I'm going to fight this until the very end. I hope you can forgive me for that.
Alphen. Okay, I understand. And I'll forgive you.
Thank you, Shion.
So it's a promise then?
Yeah, it's a promise.
I remember how I felt the first time you touched me. My thorns made any contact a mistake no one would ever make twice. After they'd seen what could happen, fear would always linger behind their eyes. In my entire life, I never had someone willingly reach out to me. But when you reached out to me and gently took my hand, you didn't react at all. It was so easy for you. I don't have words for the shock I felt in that moment.
That's because I couldn't feel pain back then.
Even once you could, though, you still chose to keep reaching out to me. And when you did, I felt this warmth that I had never known before. But still, I hate having to see you suffer through it every time you do.
You won't have to worry about that for much longer.
You think so?
I do, because Shion,
No. You can tell me once my thorns are gone. Okay?
Yeah. Okay. Everybody get enough rest? We ready for this?
Yeah, we should probably get moving.
Agreed. Can't stand around waiting all day.
Our task is relatively straightforward. We need only descend down to Rena, defeat the Great Spirit, and restore stability to both worlds.
We're fighting for a new future for both Dahna and Rena.
Right. We've come this far. We will save our worlds. That's a promise.
Then let's go, everybody. We've got one last wall to tear down.
Repairs on your starship are complete. Everything is in working order.
Is that you, Hevrek 35? You can see us from where you are?
I can. I can see anywhere within the bounds of Dake Phasal.
Sounds like someone's a peeping Tom.
Maybe we should give Hevrect 35 a break. It has been stuck in this tiny facility for a very, very long time.
I have unlocked all functions on your starship. You can now make use of its warp drive.
Warp drive? Wait, you mean like what the Red Women used on us? What brought us here?
It's possible that the Red Women may have found a way to activate it on the starship. They are Helganquil, after all.
Using the warp drive, you should be able to breach Rena's atmosphere without being detected.
Wait, should?
You'll need to be careful. Due to the force field surrounding Rena, the ship will be unable to go any further than the surface of the planet.
So, once we reach the shell, it appears we'll have to infiltrate the core by foot. Understood.
We gotta go all the way down just walking?
Will all the Helganquil go back to normal once we defeat the Great Spirit? I have a strange feeling we're going to have to fight them before this is all over.
The extinction of my people is inevitable at this stage. As such, it would be illogical to risk the success of the mission in a vain attempt to save my kind.
We understand.
Can't that thing lighten up a bit? Everything it says seems to be about what's illogical.
Well, come on, Doe.
Hold up, did you just...
You heard the lady. Get going.
I have one last question.
What?
As Sovereign, your identification number indicates that you are well past your predicted life expectancy. Similarly, the Maiden lacks any identification number, as her function should have been rendered unnecessary. Despite this, the two of you continue to exist. Why?
We exist because others have entrusted this to us. Over the years, many people have come together and sworn to see this through to the end.
You mean it is because of multiple chance interactions? The likelihood of such events is statistically improbable. Why have you two continued to persist under these conditions?
It's hard to explain. To be honest, I don't think it's something an observer could understand. All right, time to get back on the Fall Knights.
It would appear that our Helganquil host really has fulfilled its end of the bargain.
You know what that means. Time to go to Rena.
I guess this means we should give that warp drive a spin.
There's nothing here. This weird ocean we're surrounded by just stretches out everywhere. Is this really where the Helganquil come from?
I don't sense even a trace of astral energy. This world is dead.
Then this must be the hollowing.
You mean to tell me this whole world, the entire ocean is that stuff?
And it's covering everything. The entire planet.
This is what the Great Spirit does. After it depleted this planet of every last speck of astral energy, it went after Dahna.
So arresting. This world of doom.
Back in its day, Rena was probably just as vibrant as Dahna is. But after being robbed of its astral energy for so long, those days are gone and past. This is all that will remain.
So the Great Spirit took everything. It stole energy not just from living beings, but the land, the sea, everything.
And it bound the Helganquil in servitude until their whole world was nothing but this. And by the looks of it, that's how it remains to this day. A world of death and emptiness.
With nothing left here to consume, the Great Spirit turned its sights on Dahna, looking for another host.
You're saying if we don't stop it, this is what Dahna's going to look like?
We can be sure that even these few remaining remnants of Renan life will not be spared in the end.
If the oblivion and darkness both Shion and Naori saw comes to pass, nothing will survive. It looks like we can climb down from there. Let's take a look.
So this is Rena. This is where everything began. Yet it's a dead world?
I won't let Dahna suffer the same fate, ever.
A hollowed ocean as far as the eye can see. What do you think would happen if we fell in?
What do you mean, what would happen? You'd drown, wouldn't you?
Come to think of it, I don't believe I've heard of someone ever trying. Perhaps you'd like the glory of being the first?
Nah, I'll pass.
This is essentially a world-sized Renan graveyard. Are you proposing to disturb the dead slumber just to satisfy your curiosity, Law?
No, because I said I passed.
Taking an interest is understandable, but let's not forget where we are. This place deserves our respect.
Looks like we're not going to be hearing the end of this one for a while.
You'd think I was already snorkeling in it or something. So the idea is to seal the Great Spirit inside the Renis Alma using the Sovereign and Maiden's power. But just how do we do that exactly?
I'm guessing it won't be as easy as holding a spirit channeling ceremony at our leisure.
I already had wielded astral energy once 3 centuries ago. As for suppressing her thorns, Shion's had a lifetime's experience. The problem isn't just our enemy's strength, it's that it's sentient too. And you can bet anything you like it's not going to just sit back and let us destroy it.
In other words, we need to find some way to weaken it in advance. The Great Spirit, that is.
Back when Shion's thorns flew out of control, we were able to deal with them directly. If this is their host, they should be even more corporeal here.
If that's the case, it should make them easier to attack at least. And if we can manage to divert enough energy away from the spirit's core, even temporarily,
we might just be able to weaken it enough to steal the Renis Alma, which we can then use to seal it away forever. It won't be easy, but it's our only shot. Time to buckle up.
Looks like we've warped into that pit of astral energy.
Question for you. Let's say, knock on wood, everything turns out for the best.
What'll the world be like? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of this, do you really think everything will be that different?
A lot will have to change, that's for sure. The world will have to adjust to so much. My only worry is if those changes turn out to be merely skin deep.
What do you mean?
It's well and good putting an end to Renan rule. But if it just turns the tables, it's all for naught.
That's true. Just as bad if the Dahnans started pressing their own.
Renans, Dahnans, astral art users, mages. The world is full of labels used to divide and separate people.
If only we could see differences like that for what they are. No different to someone having a musical talent or being good with their hands. Not differences so much as characteristics.
It will take someone in power to set an example. But with time, people will follow. And then, perhaps one day...
There will no longer be any need for the example. It will have become second nature.
That's where we come in. We can set the example. Imagine it. A world where magic and astral arts are used to help people. Where that's the norm rather than the exception.
Yeah, you're right, Rinwell. Why wait for somebody else? We can show them ourselves.
I wonder what Helganquil's civilization was like at its zenith.
I can imagine that'd be something you'd take an interest in.
There's no question it must have been advanced, like none either world has ever seen. We could surely stand to learn a thing or two from such a people.
I get that you're itching to delve into its history, but we've got bigger fish to fry right now.
Put a pin in it, and you can do all the research you want when you retire.
I can think of worse things than a retirement dedicated to research. As for whether Rena is amenable to an aging specimen...
It's a little early to be giving it serious thought just yet.
A man can dream, though. A man can dream.
Oh, we didn't say there's anything wrong with dreaming.
In your case, Dohalim, dreams have a habit of spiraling into something else.
You'll need to stay with us for now, though. You're too helpful to let retire.
Why do I feel this is less of a compliment and more of an ultimatum?
Just a friendly suggestion.
Helganquil!
Guess they don't need their Red Woman disguises anymore.
Wait, can you understand us?
It's no use. We're not going to get through to them.
So they really are being controlled. In that case, we've got no choice.
I knew there was something off here!
They're not pulling punches. We have no choice but to beat them at their own game.
Fall into fire!
Try harder!
Did that help at all?
Try harder!
Switch to water! Here on astral energy!
Flaming meteor!
Lightning condensed!
This one's mine! Infernal crossing!
Eternal devastation!
Illuminate Helios!
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Hurricane!
Take this!
Do it! Go for it!
Prepare to crumble!
Think we overdid it?
My turn!
Now die a long shot!
devastation! This one's all mine!
Hurricane! Water! Here my car! To me!
Right! Not today!
Art expert coming through!
Time to shine!
It's over!
Holy land!
This one's mine!
Scream laser!
You're mine!
On guard!
Ha!
Hurricane! Denied!
Do it!
Shield!
Go for it!
Prepare to crumble!
Not a chance!
Undying darting wind. Leave the enemy's arts to me.
Milk is place here!
On guard!
Full throttle now! Astral energy! Full throttle! A flawless victory.
Flame inside me!
Hurricane naturally.
Let's free!
Look sharp!
Turbo Demon Fang! Ha! Ignite!
This one's This ends now!
Consider yourself finished! Not a chance!
Gale Force!
Now you see what I can do!
Alright!
Turtle devastation!
Look sharp! It's in the sky!
Sword Rain Alpha!
Stop now! Let's go! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Alphen,
I can't forgive them for what they've done, but I hate killing them. They don't even know why they're fighting. How does that even make them any different from the Dahnan slaves?
Perhaps. However, if we don't make a choice, the guilt of not doing anything will be that much worse.
Yeah, I know. I hate for it to be like this. But if it happens again, you won't find me hesitating to act.
I wonder if we're going to get attacked again.
If we lose heart now, this whole mission is over. We have to stay the course.
Hey! Hey, I just realized something!
Is this about dinner last night? I didn't realize those ingredients were off.
What? No! I mean, wait, you fed us rotten food?
Rinwell, the point.
Oh, yeah, right. So I was thinking about those armored soldiers we've seen. There are regular Renans inside them, right?
Yeah, they're designed to make whoever's wearing them stronger. At least, I think that's the idea.
Right. So it kind of begs the question then, why are they made so huge?
I don't know, makes them more intimidating, I guess? Or maybe all that tech wizardry inside takes up a lot of space.
You don't think it's weird how the armored soldiers are the exact same height as the Helganquil?
Can't say I'd ever noticed it till now. And?
Connect the dots, Law!
Okay, let me get this straight. You think the armored suits might have originally been designed to allow Renans to work alongside the Helganquil?
Huh. But if that's true, what would that mean?
It would mean... just that, I guess. But still, don't you think it's kind of interesting?
Not hugely. Hey, Kisara, while I've got you, what's on tonight's menu? Because I was thinking, maybe meat?
Get him, Hootle.
What did I do?
Oh, now you want to listen. Keep pecking, Hootle!
Ow! Seriously, what the hell? You know, guys, when you think about it, we've taken out a lot of Zeugles. Like, a whole lot.
You can say that again. If one thing's for certain in this world, it's that wherever we go, we'll always end up bumping into them.
Isn't it weird that they're still so plentiful? You don't think the Renans have, like, a ranch where they breed them, do you?
Certainly in all of my years, I've never heard of them constructing such a massive facility on Dahna, let alone up in Lenegis.
the only thing I can think of then is that the feral ones must be reproducing on their own.
There's also no organized effort on our part to hunt them down, so it's difficult to fully exterminate them.
Exterminate them? Whoa, don't you think that's maybe a little harsh?
What do you mean?
Zeugles originally used to be living creatures native to Dahna and Rena, right? Being genetically modified isn't their fault.
You're right. Zeugles were only created because of us Renans. We altered the original creatures to suit our own ends.
First, people made Zeugles, and then we let them go. And now we're trying to kill them because they're a threat. They really have only seen the very worst, huh?
I hope we find a way to be able to live side by side with them one day.
It's a nice thought, but they attack towns and cities. What else are we supposed to do?
Aside from the strays that have gone wild, it's worth remembering that Renans are able to keep them somewhat under control.
If we had distinct territories that didn't overlap, that might reduce the danger they pose.
Well, I guess when you look at it that way, maybe people and Zeugles aren't so different after all.
I thought there'd be more dirt and rocks and stuff underneath the hollowed ocean, but it's all artificial.
I would imagine they're remnants left behind by the Helganquil, seeing as there's little actual land remaining.
It's incredible. Do you think it stretches all the way down to the center of the planet?
Hey, these guys built Lenegis, remember? He probably did this in a weekend.
If they had the power to create things like this, did they really only use those immense capabilities to serve the Great Spirit? Or rather, was that the only use the Great Spirit let them use their capabilities for?
We're in for a long slog with this one.
I'm gone! You're finished!
Hold on to your art.
Soda!
These ones can run rings around us.
Corruption!
Not in your dreams.
Going
Take
in.
this! Sword Rain Alpha!
I'm gone.
Eternal Devastation! Double Demon Fang!
Leave the forces to me.
Mirage! Double Demon Fang!
Hurricane Foot. Make it rain.
Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone.
Did it!
Yeah. Nice
Come and
technique.
face me!
Prepare to be sealed,
Hurricane Foot.
Sound is more appropriate.
Let's talk even more doing.
Hard up.
Come forth, holy glimmer.
Sword Rain Alpha!
Holy land.
I'll smash you!
Hurricane Foot.
Eternal Devastation!
Mega ray.
Double Demon Fang!
Annihilation.
It's on!
This
You're
one's
finished.
mine. Inferno crossing.
You
Make
can
it
do all
rain.
right! Come out!
Astral energy.
Say no more!
Lunar corruption. Lunar
Switch to
blast.
offense.
Dance in the wind. Air thrust.
Sword
Lunar
Rain Alpha!
energy.
I'm not done! Eternal Devastation!
Look sharp. I'm only getting closer.
This one's mine.
Come forth, holy glimmer.
Looks like it could be worth something.
We haven't seen anyone here except Helganquil. Looks like this place really is their home planet.
The true citizens of Rena. What a shame that they have become nothing more than puppets to the Great Spirit. To think of the promise their accomplishments once held. They had the potential to be great indeed.
Do you think we could have got along with them? You know, if we had met under different circumstances. Like
All of us, you mean? I suppose it's difficult to say for sure. We don't even know if they would see us as being on an equal level with them or not.
I think we may have had the chance once, before the Renan Great Spirit came along and changed everything.
You and Alphen both share an optimism. A strong willingness to believe in hope.
Do you think that's foolish?
On the contrary, I should like to take a leaf from your book myself. In tragedy's aftermath, hope is all we have.
Just look at the size of that thing. And how Helganquil's technology certainly is impressive. And they don't seem to do things by halves either. In the past 300 years. No, even before that. Just how many people, Renan or Dahna, do you think have ever seen this?
Regarding the past 3 centuries at least, I'd say there's a good chance that we're the first. Also, while I get that it's impressive and all, I'm just amazed you're still standing around gawping at it at a time like this. Sometimes I wonder about your priorities.
I can understand where he's coming from. More to the point, does anyone know where it leads?
What do you mean where it leads? To the center of the planet, of course.
And that doesn't strike you as sounding just a little bit, I don't know, far? There has to be a quicker way to get there, right?
Yeah. With all this technology at their fingertips, it seems pretty unlikely that they'd make that kind of journey on foot. There must be some kind of device somewhere. Let's see if we can figure out how to use it.
Borrow one of their contraptions? You're either brave or out of your mind.
If it works for them, there's no reason it wouldn't for us. Why make things harder for ourselves?
You know what he's like, Law. Once he gets an idea in his head, there's no talking him out of it.
I wonder how the Renans avoided being mind-controlled like the Helganquil. Do you think it might have something to do with the fact that they were originally Dahnans?
I'd say it's likely, which is pretty ironic when you think about it.
Ironic?
The Renans have committed grave injustices against the Dahnans. But it was all of their own volition, not because they were being controlled. Now, it turns out they themselves were once Dahnans too.
Which must mean that the root of their evil isn't the Great Spirit, but something inherent in all of us. Our free will.
Now hang on, though. It was that same free will that allowed Shion and Dohalim to choose to fight alongside us. Without it, we wouldn't have been able to beat hatred and forge all those connections we've made. Free will is what saved us, right?
Law's entirely right. In any case, it certainly can't hurt to look on the bright side every now and then.
Yeah. Where there's hope, there's a way.
What'd he say?
He said, without a doubt.
Is this a dead end?
It appears this whole room functions as an elevator. That apparatus there is likely what's used to control it.
What the? Where did they come from?
Less worry, more action. Concentrate.
Sword Rain Alpha!
I can shatter any steel!
This one's mine.
Double Demon Fang!
Flying free? Why can't they just sit still?
Sia, can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done.
Eat dirt! Double Demon Fang!
Go for it!
Prepare to crumble!
Think we over reinforcements?
Come and face me! Sword Rain Alpha! Strike!
Thank you for all your help.
Please, don't. This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
I'll fix
Reinforcements? Take this! This one's all mine! You're finished!
I never miss!
This one, do it!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Reinforcements incoming! Not a problem!
I'm not done!
Now! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Hear me!
My turn!
Fury!
Stardust!
Illuminate the dark! Hear my
Mirage!
Holy glimmer!
Here I come!
Red!
You're finished! Crush!
Fury! Burning!
Double Demon Fang!
Make it right! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
There you go, Outlaw!
It's time to end this battle!
I'm right beside you!
Double Demon Fang! Sword Rain Alpha!
There!
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno! More?
Here comes!
Here I come!
Do it! Get toasty!
Burn Strike! Now!
Take
Take it!
Going in!
Sword Rain Alpha!
That'll bring you down!
Double Demon Fang!
Hard field!
Ha! Not today!
Make it red! Kitara! Go for it!
Prepare to crumble!
Lightning!
More sucrals?
Keep calm and take them down!
Far enough!
Strike!
Illuminate the dark!
Crush!
Come forward!
This one is
Alpha!
I'm out of ammo! Hurricane strike!
Strike! The
Not in
flame
your
inside
dreams!
me yearns to be let free!
Now you see what I can do!
No escape! Crush!
Primed and ready!
Sword Rain
This
Alpha!
one's mine!
It's over!
I'm
Sword Rain Alpha! Sword Rain Alpha!
Hey, Dohalim!
All yours, Kisara!
More? You're mine!
Mine! Burning!
Mirage!
Glacial
You're
Spear!
mine!
Here's evil! This
You're
one's
finished!
mine! Freeze Lancer!
Burn!
Now! Kitara! Go for it!
Prepare to crumble!
Not more?
Here's a healing art!
Sword Rain Alpha!
First aid!
It's over! Double Demon Fang!
Hurricane strike!
Can't get out of this!
That's it!
This one's all mine!
I'm only getting
Take
started.
this!
Hurricane strike!
Try harder!
Supernova! Look sharp!
My turn! Take this!
All right!
No escape! Lunar Rondo! Eat dirt! We did it!
As impressive as always.
Here I hope that was improving.
No, I mean, you're even better than ever.
I've never seen Sion actually look flustered. Article coming through!
Sword Rain Alpha!
In here!
Double Demon Fang!
Denied! To accomplish this. Let's get you all tucked away.
Double Demon Fang!
Resurrect! Now! Kitara! Go for it!
Prepare to crumble!
Need more?
Here's the evil! Supernova! More than that came from!
You're mine!
Let's bring it down here!
You're finished! Take this! You're finished!
Do it! Astral energy! Full throttle!
more! Not a chance! Start up!
If it's in the sky, it's mine!
one's getting it.
Here!
It's
Now!
over.
Redwell! Astral energy! Full throttle! Here!
Now!
Flame of
Take
fury!
this! I'm not done!
Glacial spear!
You're on!
Here's evil!
Double demon fang! Here I come!
Keep low! Get toasty!
Bird strike!
I feel sprightlier than before.
Even in such a harsh environment as this, there are still creatures here?
You think they're native to Rena? Or could they be Googled somehow?
Whatever they are, they're dangerous. Watch yourselves around them. You think that pit stretches all the way to Rena's...
I've got a really bad feeling about this.
Right here! I got you!
Demon fang! This
Where
one's
are you
all mine!
going?
Strike!
Insects should stay on the ground.
Denied!
Damn it!
I owe you one!
Mind
free!
Still!
Sia, can you take care of that?
No sooner said than done!
Sword Rain Alpha! Double demon
Now!
fang!
You're
You're
right!
mine!
Astral energy! Full throttle! A flawless victory! Now!
Take this! How about this?
Naturally!
The flaming
Keep going!
strike!
Go for it!
Prepare to crumble!
My turn!
Here!
You're on!
Lightning
Double
attack!
demon fang!
Do it!
Take this!
Get toasty!
Bird strike!
Get in the way!
My turn! You're my...
Steer! Where are you going?
Lunar Rondo!
Hurricane
You're on!
City!
Here I come!
Look sharp!
Now!
Chill!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished! With your flames and my technique,
We're stronger together than we are... I have a bad feeling about
you're
this.
mine! Sword Rain Alpha!
Flame of fury! Burning strike!
Infernal crossing! Double demon fang!
Hurricane
Ah! Not today!
Going in!
You're mine! Eternal devastation! Double demon fang!
Leave the ensnaring to me.
Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
Did it!
Yeah!
Not a chance!
Nice technique!
I'm not done! You're finished!
Illuminate the dark!
Sword Rain Alpha!
Far enough!
Now! Annihilation! I'm ready!
Trinkwell!
Frozen!
Hammer!
There!
Not a chance!
And again!
I can carve through
Only
armor!
getting
Igneous!
Sword Rain Alpha!
Now!
Still!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished! Not a chance!
Raging
The flame
storm!
inside me yearns to be let free!
Into the shadows!
I feel stronger. I mean, a bit.
Good. We're counting on you, Rinwell.
On... me? Well... I'll do my best.
This one's tough, but we have no choice.
Let me know if you need healing.
You're finished! You're mine! It's over!
Look sharp! Here
I come!
Two heads! That's not even fair!
No escape!
Here's
Sword Rain Alpha!
Burning strike!
Glacial spear!
Here's evil!
You're good.
Free blazer!
Hurricane strike! I'll take you all on! Ha! Flare Demolisher!
Raging storm!
Double demon fang! Sword Rain Alpha!
That one's mine!
Damn it! Too fast!
Stand back. I'll zip it up.
Razor cyclone!
Crush! Double demon fang!
Looks like you got this one covered!
It's on!
Do it!
Still!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
There you go, Alphen!
It's time to end this battle!
I'm right beside you! Here!
It's over!
Lightning
Not today! I'll take you all on!
Lunar
Here I come!
blast! Astral energy! Full throttle!
Now!
Piercing denied!
Let me show you what my art is!
Hurricane strike!
Raging
I'm not
storm!
done!
On guard!
Eternal devastation! Double demon fang!
Lightning
Can't get out of this!
Hurricane
I'm not
strike!
done!
Thunder blade! Corruption!
Eternal devastation!
Meteor!
Double demon fang!
Lightning!
Take this!
Hurricane Strike!
Sword Rain Alpha!
This one will hold mine.
Outstanding form!
Ignite!
Illuminate the dark! Hurricane Strike! I'm out of
Sword
ammo!
Rain Alpha!
What and weak! Annihilation!
Eternal devastation! Sword Rain Alpha!
What the hell is going on? Fall back, Alpin. We'll take point here.
I never miss! That's it!
Rain Alpha!
Dance in the wind! Here's a healing shot! Here!
I don't have much left.
What do I do?
Not like this.
Stay away from my friend!
I don't even know the word defeat. Alright, here! It's showtime! Out of ammo!
You're mine! Sword Rain Alpha!
Annihilation!
It's time to finish this. Die! Consuming wildfire!
Hear me! Flame of fury!
The power of
Take
burning
this!
in a vine. I'm ready to go.
Eternal devastation!
Freeze blade!
Sword Rain Alpha!
Go in! First aid!
Double demon fang! Not today!
Time to
Take
shine.
this! Sword Rain Alpha!
Water, this
Hear
one's
my
mine.
call! Spread!
Eternal devastation!
Here's Evo. Hurricane pass far enough.
Here I come!
Natural energy!
Sword Rain Alpha!
Air thrust!
Double demon fang! Try harder! Try harder! Take this!
Raging
Sword Rain Alpha!
Mega ray! Do it!
Rima!
Astral energy!
Say no more!
Does anyone else think this may be just a bit too tough for us?
We got some good.
Equipment! I can't say its appearance is to my tastes, personally.
These structures don't look like anything built by the Red. Or even what we saw in the Forbidden Zone.
Perhaps this is the true architectural style of the Helganquil. Or... perhaps the opposite.
This one's tough, but we have no choice.
Let me know if you need healing. This one's mine.
Eternal
I'll
devastation!
heal you all.
Hurricane strike! Right here. I got you.
Healing circle.
Sword Rain Alpha! Double demon fang!
Why'd you heal me?
Hurricane strike. Make your way. I'm out of it. This ends now.
Consider yourself finished!
There you go, Alpin.
It's time to end this battle! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Glacial
No
Spear.
chance.
Pierce Evo.
Eternal devastation!
Look
Shot!
Do it. This ends now.
Consider yourself finished!
I need to be stronger. Those thorns.
I'm not letting them get in our way!
My word. This must be... A work of providence.
Proba what now?
It means destiny. I think it's a bit of an exaggeration, though.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Double demon fang!
Careful!
Here I go! It's over! Eternal devastation! Double demon fang! Double demon fang! Not today! Sword Rain Alpha! You're finished!
Amazing.
I'll smash you! Crush! Double demon fang! Sword Rain Alpha!
That'll bring you down.
Here I come! Sword Rain Alpha!
Glacial Spear.
Double demon fang!
This one's mine.
Through escape!
Raging Storm.
I'll take you all on! Ha! Flare the Malisa!
This one's mine.
Strike!
Round and power. Lightning condemned.
This one's all mine!
Flame of
Ignite!
fury. Illumination
Going in.
burning.
Double demon fang!
This one's mine!
Through escape!
Poison Meteor! Inferno Cluster!
Try harder! You're mine!
I'll stop its charge!
Thanks, Kisara.
Try harder! Not a chance!
Hurricane denied!
Sword Rain Alpha!
Flame of fury. Burning strike.
Radiant Warrior!
Raging storm.
This is looking good! I have no limits!
Here's a healing arc.
You could use a
Take
hand!
this!
First aid. Illumination dark. Come forth.
Double
Holy
demon
river.
fang!
Holy land. Sight. House it.
Going in!
Hurricane.
Sword Rain Alpha! This one's all mine! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno! It's time!
Supernova.
Keep up the pressure!
Ignite!
This one's mine.
Sword Rain Alpha! Try harder!
Thank you for all your help.
Double demon
Don't mention it.
I'm glad to know someone's got my back.
All right. Showtime.
Here I come!
Look sharp! I don't have much left!
Raging
Sword
storm.
Rain Alpha!
Pull myself together. Here, this one's mine. Inferno Claw. Here's a healing arc.
I owe you one.
Lightning orb. Inferno Claw. Air
Take
thrust.
this!
Light astral.
Sword Rain Alpha!
Come forth. Holy glitter.
Piercing roar!
It's over!
Not in your dreams. Annihilation.
I'm gone far enough!
Flame of fury.
You're
Make it
mine!
rain!
Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
Sword and shield!
A classic combination.
This one's tough!
Here
I come! Sword Rain Alpha!
Going in!
Double demon fang!
Going in! Ground and
In a
pound!
bind?
It's on! Double demon fang!
Aside!
Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade! Now! Here I come!
Illuminate the dark!
You're on!
Come forth!
Take
Going in! Raging storm! Lightning meteor! We managed to turn the tide!
For now. But things could shift at a moment's notice.
You're right. Better stay alert. Holy Red! On guard! Freeze Lancer! Will this help?
You're mine! Eternal devastation!
What would I do without you?
Thank you for all your help.
Please, don't mention it.
I'm glad to know someone's got my back.
You're really strong.
I'm just trying to do the best I can.
I feel sprightly than before.
I found some equipment.
Don't get careless.
Don't tell me! Okay, here I go! Now or never!
One more! Freeze Lancer!
I guess the normal creepy crawlies aren't
Some
disgusting
fights
enough.
are better left unfought.
This'll make us even more formidable.
This one's tough, but we have no choice.
Let me know if you need healing.
Try hard, my turn! Double Demon Fang! I'm not Double Demon Fang! No escape!
This one's mine.
Tornado Alpha! Double
here.
Demon Fang!
Far enough. There you go. Don't let out. Lightning orb.
Double Demon Fang! Ignite!
Hear my call.
Prepare to be sealed.
Down. You're on.
Actually, that sound is more appropriate.
Less talking, more doing.
Double Demon Fang!
Holy glimmer.
Sword Rain Alpha!
This one's mine.
Thanks!
Hurricane
Sword Rain Alpha!
This one's
I owe you
mine.
one! Sword Rain Alpha! Sword Rain Alpha!
How about
Sword Rain Alpha! Try harder! Sword Rain Alpha!
This one's mine. Dream. Lunar blast. This one's
Now you see what I can do!
Thunder field. Hurricane.
My head's spinning just watching you.
Take this!
On guard.
Sword Rain Alpha!
Only getting hurricane.
You're mine!
This one's mine.
It's time!
Going in.
Not today!
Illuminate the
You're mine!
Denied.
It's over! Crush!
Going in! Take this!
Here I come!
Here that is
Double demon fang!
Here's flame of fury!
Light
Astral lightning condemns
You're
evil!
mine!
Thunderbolt! Arts require complete focus! Let me show you what my art can do!
Inferno!
Shine!
Now or never.
Hurricane Flight! Resurrection!
I owe you!
Take this! Going in!
Double demon fang!
Wind Astral energy!
Double
Here
demon
goes!
fang!
Hurricane Flight!
Double demon fang!
Going in! Take
Here's
this!
a healing art!
Eat dirt!
This one's
Let
mine!
it get
Sword
to
Rain
it!
Alpha!
Air thrust!
Crush! Sword Rain
Mind if I
Alpha!
do? It looks like you got this one covered!
Nothing gets through me!
Illuminate the dark! Annihilation!
Going in.
Flame of fury! Revitalize!
Their arts were interrupted!
Take this!
Can't get out of
My
this!
astral energy
Sword
breaking
Rain
that
Alpha!
gate! I'm going to need to use all the weight! Here's a healing art for the stockpile! First aid! Hurricane force! More
Take
of that
this! The
heat!
flame
Where are you
inside
going?
me yearns to be let free!
Tempest
Sword Rain
fire!
Alpha!
Light up the dark!
Burn!
Here's a healing art!
Let me
First aid!
And just like that, I'm back in it!
Start by holding the front line.
No sooner said than done!
Searing flame! Reload!
Look sharp!
Damn it! Out of ammo!
Sword Rain Alpha!
Will this help?
Take this!
Lightning orb!
I'm
Sword
going to
Rain
need to
Alpha!
use all the power of my healing arts to accomplish this.
Flaming meteor!
Sword Rain
I
Alpha!
can do this!
Redwell! Astral energy! Full throttle!
Those astral arts of yours are pretty impressive.
Thanks. You're full of surprises yourself.
This one's tough, but we have no choice.
Let me know if you need healing.
Don't worry, I've got plenty to go around.
Here's evil!
Time to cross blade!
Freeze blast!
Sword Rain Alpha!
Concentration!
We got flyers
I got this! Let a marksman handle it!
coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
There you go, Alvin!
It's time to end this battle!
I'm right beside
One more!
The flame inside me yearns to be let free!
A charge like that could easily be fatal.
Just as well, I'm here to stop it! Look sharp!
Double Demon Fang!
That'll bring you down!
You're mine! Double Demon Fang!
Now!
Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
My turn! I can't lay a finger... on you.
I prefer it that way. What about you?
Just watch and see!
Hear my call! Not on my watch!
You're mine! This isn't looking good! Hold nothing back! The flame
enough.
inside me yearns to
I don't
be
have
let
much
free!
left.
Need to pull
Double
myself
Demon
together.
Fang!
I'm ready!
This one's mine!
Sword Rain Alpha!
Going in!
Double Demon Fang!
Field!
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Here, let me help! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Here's the healing cascade!
Now I'll let loose! Sword Rain Alpha!
Glacial fire! That'll bring you down! Raging cascade!
Sword Rain Alpha! Ignite!
Going in!
One more!
Sword Rain Alpha!
Amazing.
It's over!
I can carve through armor! This one's mine! In a bind?
Reload!
How about this?
Here I come! Sword Rain Alpha! Take this!
Lightning!
You're mine!
I'm gone!
Here I come!
No more midnight fury!
Going in!
Sword Rain Alpha!
Glacier Field! Mind if I do?
Try harder!
Hurricane strike!
Freeze on you!
You're mine!
Take one!
The flame inside me yearns to be let free! It's over!
Crescent moon! Nail drum! Annihilation!
I'm nearly done for!
Here goes!
Sword Rain Alpha! Try harder! Not
Make it
yet.
rain! Light excellent!
Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
Remember to tell me if you need healing.
I expect you'll be in high demand if that's the case.
This won't be easy.
Don't be such a pessimist. Here, let me help. This one's mine.
Eternal Devastation! It can hide itself? From me? Try harder!
Glacial
mine!
Tiger
Sword Rain Alpha!
Hurricane Strike!
You're finished! Sword Rain Alpha!
Load ammo! This one's mine! Here's the next one! Take that! Annihilate!
Here I come!
Magna Ray! Get behind me! Annihilation!
Eternal Devastation! Double Demon Fang!
Now! Zestiria! Go for it! Prepare to crumble! Think we overdid it?
Not a chance!
Not by a long
Demon
shot!
Fang!
Inferno Crusher!
Eternal
Here's evil!
Devastation!
On guard! Art expert! Cut through!
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Here, let me help!
Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
Let me show you what my
Now!
arm can do!
Here I
This
come!
one's mine! Here goes! Here!
Eternal Devastation! Sword Rain Alpha!
Raging Cascade! It's here!
You picked the wrong fight!
It's here! Halo! One way! Hurricane
No
Lorna!
escape! Sword Rain Alpha!
Glacial
Take this!
Fury! Illuminate the dark!
Now you see what I can do!
Water! Hear my call! To pieces! Flaming meteor!
Sword Rain Alpha!
Let's keep up the pressure! Lightning condemned! Illuminate the dark! Come forth!
Thank you for all your help.
Please,
Don't mention it.
I'm glad to know someone's got my back.
This one's all mine!
I'm ready! On guard!
Here I come!
This
Sword Rain Alpha!
Where are you going? Crescent here!
You picked the wrong fight!
Crossing!
You're mine! Sword Rain Alpha!
Amazing.
Double Demon Fang! It's over!
Inferno Crossing!
It's over! Crush!
Flaming meteor!
Take this!
Here goes! Dance in the wind! Here goes!
Try harder!
I'll be saving this!
This one keeps charging us!
That's what my shield's for.
Try harder!
Get behind me!
Got it! I'll leave it to you!
Going in!
Crush!
Far enough!
Eternal Devastation! This isn't looking good!
Look sharp!
Okay, here we go! Take this!
Going in!
Tiger Blade!
No further! No escape!
Inferno Crossing!
You're finished! Ignite!
Glacial Fire!
You're mine!
Tiger
Double
Blade!
Demon Fang!
Going in! I'm ready! Dance in the wind! Ground and pound!
Double Demon Fang!
Get out of there with you! Hear my call!
You're mine!
Fury! Burning Strike! Glacial Spear! Here's evil! Hurricane Flow!
Take this!
Come on! You
Double Demon
I'm only
Fang!
getting started!
Sword Rain Alpha!
Annihilation! Inferno Crossing!
So tired. All that running around is catching up with you.
No, I don't think that's
Sword
it.
Rain Alpha! An astral punch?
That's the deal! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
getting stronger. What do you think this place was for? Ah!
What the hell? Are they asleep?
No. They appear to be well preserved. However, they are all dead.
Dead? So this is a mass grave?
Looks that way. However, none of them appear to be Helganquil.
Bear in mind that Renans were originally Dahnans, who were remade and sent to live on Lenegis. Knowing that, they would have needed a place to perform the procedure somewhere.
And that place is here, I assume.
So what you're saying is that all of these are Dahnan, or rather, Renan bodies?
Most likely, yes. It must have been abandoned for one reason or another.
There are so many of them. They were all taken away, but never given the chance to wake.